I'm the friend that doesn't talk to her friends. The cows are enjoying. It's a wonderful day to be working on my dreams. The weather isn't really that nice. Can you hear that? The sound of trees being cut. It's so annoying. Each and every time the people close for the holidays, they're out there cutting trees. I've been watching the K-drama called Hospital Playlist, and it follows the story of 5 friends who are now working in a medical center as doctors. And it really got me thinking about adult friendships and why a lot of us are having difficulty with our adult friendships. One of the things that I really noticed is that these people are able to remain friends precisely because they work in the same place. And one of the reasons why a lot of us are having difficulty is because we are not seeing our friends as often as we thought we should. Taking my own example, I made a lot of friends while I was in school, but after school, you're not working in the same place. Sometimes you're not even living in the same city. Most of my friends are actually in different countries. We're not in a common environment, so that definitely makes it more difficult. Oh my god, that is so noisy. A common environment always comes with shared experiences, and this just makes it easier to form bonds together. I'm actually a huge proponent of making friends at your workplace. You just have to be smart about it. You can't be friends with people who are in the same department as you because you're more of competitors. You want to get the same promotion, you want to get the same titles. It's not gonna work. It's good to be friends with people in different departments because at the end of the day, if you're spending so much time at work, then it would be good to have people that you can talk to, people you can vent to about your experiences in the company. Some other thing that I've seen from this show is the fact that it really helps when you and your friends have the same hobby, because if you don't, what then is going to be the thing that brings you together? I think this is also one of the reasons why a lot of people have difficulty finding friendships. They think that it's just going to happen out of the blues. You have to go out of your way and try to make friends. So if you like eating, for example, maybe find people that like eating, maybe going out into a restaurant or trying out different cuisines at home, and you can always just go to one person's home and you're trying different foods. You need to have a shared activity that is going to be the perfect excuse for you to see each other. Otherwise, just being like, oh my god, when are we gonna meet? If you don't like traveling, you cannot be friends with someone that loves traveling, because when are you gonna meet? Where is the common ground? Because when they have some downtime, they want to travel and you just want to chill, it's just not going to work. It's also important to always make the effort to actually meet your friends. Something that I really like about these 5 friends in particular in the show is the fact that when they have time during their lunchtime, they meet and eat together. They literally make an effort. It's not like they're just waiting for a miracle to happen. They're very, very intentional about it. It's really given me a few things to think about, because if I'm being honest, I'm not really one who is really great when it comes to my friendships. But it's because I'm an introvert. I mean, I really like my own time. Anytime I think about even just talking to my friends, I just feel drained even before doing it, because it takes a long time. We are not living in the same place. We're not having shared experiences. It means that when we have time to speak, it takes a really long time. And it's like we're doing a reporting of what has been happening in our lives. And I find that to be so draining. So I just choose to not talk to them. Definitely need to do better. I have to do a lot of stuff right now. I need to do my finance class, I need to work out, I need to publish on my marketing podcast. There's lots to do. The weather is bad, but that is not going to hold me back. I appreciate the fact that I have access to organic food while at home, but I've also learned that I prefer buying my food from farmers than to be a farmer myself. There's so much work that goes into producing healthy vegetables and produce. We use cow dung as fertilizer and we don't use pesticides, which means more work. When it rains, everything grows, including the weeds, which basically means that you have to put in a lot of energy into farming, but the end result are not always commensurate to the work you put in. Sometimes everything just goes bad, especially when you have lots of rain. That's why I'm a deep believer in choosing your poison, because everything has good and bad sides. I don't like farming and I see it as a chore, but someone else would absolutely enjoy the entire process. It's the same way I don't think cooking a meal for hours and it being devoured in minutes is a big deal, because I enjoy the process. I think it also applies to relationships and friendships. You have to decide whether the people in your life are worth investing your time, energy, and resources in, because some of them just want to eat out of your plate, and it's up to you whether you can tolerate such people in your own life. I know I want nothing of such people in my own life, because I've had a lot of experiences where I have realized that the people who call themselves my friends are just taking from me, and the moment that I really stepped back, mostly because I really didn't have the energy or the capacity to create space for other people, these friendships just fell apart because I was the only one that was pouring into these relationships. Oh, outside looks horrendous. It's so foggy. This is the last tea bag that I have, lemon and lime. I always like drinking tea whenever I can. Not really whenever I can. It's the thing that I will always prioritize. This is like a new recipe that I was trying, pain perdu. What is pain perdu in English? French toast. French toast with mango syrup. I'm actually not very patient when it comes to making syrups because it needs a lot of time. I had mangoes that they look ripe, but they're not sweet because they were harvested before they ripened. And even when you're harvesting fruits before they ripen, you have to be very careful with the timing. So I decided, why not try a mango syrup over French toast? Let's see how it tastes. I'm literally sitting on the floor because this is the only part in the house that has great lighting, but it's not the most comfortable to eat. But let's have a taste. It's actually fantastic. Once the syrup is absorbed into the bread, it becomes kind of bouncy. This tea is one of my favorites because it just has an amazing scent. I'm sure they add something that gives that citrusy scent. Malic acid, citric acid, lime juice. I mean, they're talking about lemon and lime, but there's so many other things that are included here. It's fine, it's still a wonderful tea. One thing that I really like about myself is how I'm always trying new things, especially when it comes to food. I love food, and for me, food is my love language. The reason why I will always volunteer to cook even when I don't feel like doing it, because I know, one, I'm very good at it, and two, it's how I show love to myself. Three, cooking is a very therapeutic time for me, so I will always be cooking even when I'm tired. The other day I braided my hair the entire day and I still cooked, largely because I just don't trust other people and their cooking, because they don't enjoy cooking that much. They just do it for the sake of doing it. But when I do it, I am bringing my soul into it. I'm always like, my brothers enjoy home cooked food because I'm the one who is cooking, but I am not enjoying home cooked meals because no one is cooking for me. It's fine because I love cooking. I'm like my own best friend. I do things that I like, things that nourish my soul. And I think this is why I'm also very hesitant with making new friendships, because I know exactly the amount of time and energy that goes into nourishing a friendship, because I know what being a friend to myself looks like. It just hits different when you cook something yourself and it tastes good and it actually makes you feel good. It's really why I have very high standards when it comes to relationships, when it comes to friendships, when it comes to work or anything, because I'm literally the standards that I expect from other people, and I work each and every day to ensure that I live up to my own standards. I'm definitely the kind of person that if you're friends with, you'll either find yourself really pushing yourself to achieve your dreams, to work on your dreams, or you would be very resentful because you always feel like you're lacking something. And this is exactly why I can't be around people who are insecure with themselves, or people who are always making these jokes. They call them self-deprecating jokes. You're making jokes about putting yourself down, calling yourself stupid. I can't deal with that. The more you spend a lot of time around these people, you'll find yourself getting those habits. And those kinds of jokes are the things that make you insecure, make you sabotage yourself. Each and every time a good opportunity comes to you, because you're so used to telling yourself that you're not good enough, you don't even see these opportunities as good opportunities. You also become the kind of person that is so negative. I cannot deal with that. This is my father's old book library. Some of these books were even read by my own grandfather. Some of these are the most boring ever. I tried reading this one, but I couldn't. Bacon's Essays. There's so many books that are really nice. So which one am I gonna read? I tried reading this one and it was so boring. It's because of translation that it's not very interesting. Obviously I've read this one and it's one of my favorites. I mean, Grace Ogot is one of my favorite writers. Should I pick this one? I mean, there's 2 copies of this. Maybe I should try this. Fahrenheit. Why is there a random page? Okay, I think this is going to be my next one. The random page is actually from this book, but what am I going to do with the random page? To just stay there. This is so old to a point that even the back page is detached. My goodness. This is the one that I just completed reading and it's one of my favorites, again because it has been written by Grace Ogot. I think she was the first female Kenyan writer or something like that to be published. I hope this is not going to be boring. The cows are enjoying the afternoon food. How nice it is to be a cow. You don't have to wake up and look for food. The food is already there. You just wake up and eat it. You just eat and sleep and digest your food. Look at those beauties. Oh my god. And here is the next generation of the cows. They're still cows at this moment. The sun is out momentarily and I'm just basking in the very little sun rays. I'm really grateful for this. I remember during winter in France, can you imagine the sun could be shining as bright as this? These people are just cutting the sun would be shining and you think, oh my god, it's so hot today. Oh, it's one of the culture shocks that I got. The sun might be shining but it's so damn cold because it's winter. And now any chance I get, I'm just basking in the warmth of the sun. One thing that I really appreciate about my village is the greenery. We really were brought up with the culture of planting trees and I just like how green it is. There's something just so therapeutic about just being in nature and also just listening to the birds. And every time I see this cypress tree, I get really bad flashbacks because our teachers in school used to use the branches of this tree to beat us. It's actually these small ones that are the most dramatic because they would just cut like one branch like that, then remove all these other little branches. Then they use that to beat you. Oh, look at the clouds. This is actually my favorite tree. It is the acacia tree. These trees, they don't need a lot of water. They grow to be really tall and they really live for a very long time. I think this has actually been in existence since before I was born. This is another one. I think it has been in existence since before I was born. I can't get enough of the sun and the greenery. Ha! You know, today I was really thinking so much about friendships and it reminded me of Martha Stewart's documentary, and the reason why she actually was incarcerated was because her friend made a testimony that put her behind bars. When you are great and when you are someone that wants to do a lot of great things, a lot of people most times that want to be around you are very jealous of you, and especially when you are living the life that they want, it's just a matter of time before they get the moment to actually sabotage you, to take you down. People are so dangerous. Actually, studying marketing has made me so distrustful of people because once you start learning about the motivations of people, their inner motivations that even most people don't even know about, you realize how human beings are very selfish. And it doesn't really matter how many times someone can pledge their loyalty to you. When it gets to a point where they feel threatened, they will do everything to protect themselves if that means putting you in danger. So now I'm very, very protective of my own space, my own energy. But anyway, enough talking. Let me enjoy all this beauty that the nature has given to me. So this reminds me of Charles Aznavour's song. Is one of my favorite singers of all time. You are the one for me, formidable. Oh, I actually don't know the rest of the lyrics. Dans la langue de Molière, formidable. You are the one for me, formidable. Formidable. Whoa. The sun just makes everything look more beautiful and alive. Can never get enough. Tell me about the love you have, and I'll tell you about nature and sun and the greenery. The clouds on my lover, look at them spreading their wings, showing me all the love that they have for me.